Hi, I'm Gary Jenkins, and thank you guys for stopping by today. Today we're going to paint some poppies with some blue wildflowers and of course, you know me, a hummingbird. So let's get started with the painting because I got a lot today to show you. Now let's get started with our good old hummingbird. I know I've done some of the my last video. I also did a hummingbird, but it's a good idea. This is what I'm showing you today is a little different approach. I'm going to take and put a little underpainting in. This is just black and white. Well, look at that. I thought I had black on my palette, but I had purple. And the purple looks just like black. So let me get some black. So I do need a little purple, so that's okay. We'll use some of that in the bird. I just put some out. I have this one already started, as you can see. I put a little black on his beak and a little on his head there. And we're going to take some black and white, make a gray. This is a number 1. Value. I'll get that on here and bring it in. Coming on down, a little more black. Not quite dark enough. Okie dokie. You need this little number 1 brush because a big brush just takes up too much room with the El Strokos. In it goes. I'm going to come in with a little more dark right in here. I like using the underpainting because it dries so really fast and it allows us to go on top with other colors. Get some of that good old detail in there. And the back wing gets very dark back here. And a little more dark. Take your time. This little guy is just as important, if not more maybe, than the rest of it. Now I'm going to take and wipe most of the paint off the brush. I'm going to pick up a little of that purple color and white. I don't know if this will show up being purple, but it does. Okay. And that goes right in here. Watch the values. Now, the value being the light and the dark. Or the values are found between the light and the dark. There's about 8 or 9 of them. There's probably more, but 8 or 9 that we can actually see. I want to take some white and just drop my towel on the floor. Some white right in here. Ooh, yeah, looks cool. That'll actually be red later on, but this kind of get the feeling of where that red's going to go. A little lighter up on the top. And thin the brush down with water and kind of soften that in. Looks a little hard looking in there. Come on down. Yeah. I also want to thank all you guys out there that are subscribing to me. Boy, I really got a bunch of them. Bunch of new fans finding me. That's great. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That really makes it possible for me to do all this good stuff for you. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just kind of get this underpainting in. We'll get more detail in that wing later. And it looks like a little more dark coming down here. Boy, almost looks finished just like this. Which is what we want. And we're going to wet that brush down because I want to get that tail really coming out. So he really gets a nice swoop to the old boy. Some little feet sticking out down here. Yeah. Hummers are just great to put in paintings. And as some of you might know, I put them in just about everything I do. Well, there is a story behind that. When I first moved here to Sedona, I went into a fine art gallery, and the guy recognized me that owns the gallery, Ken Rowe, and he said that his mother and he used to watch my TV show years ago. And he said, well, do you have some paintings you can bring in? Maybe we would like to show a few of them. I said, well, you know, I'm basically a floral painter. And he says, oh, that's right. He says, well, the gallery is more of a Western gallery. And he says, well, they don't just take straight flowers. Oh. But he says, if you put a bird or something in with your flowers, yeah, I know, he'll take it. So that's how I started with the hummers in my paintings. All because Ken said he wouldn't take them unless it had some wildlife. So I started doing hummers, and then I started incorporating some egrets. And then I started doing some owls, and then I branched out into other stuff. And I went, whoa, well, this is cool. And the public picked up on it. And then I went in, I gave some painting demonstrations in the gallery. And first Friday, I go in every first Friday of the month. And I meet a lot of the good folks. And they come from all over the United States. A lot of them come from Europe. So I get to talk and meet with people from. But here, I'm also reaching a lot of you folks, because this show goes all over the world. And I'm getting folks from all over, countries I never even heard of. Yeah. See these little shots I'm putting in, very important. Yeah, he almost looks finished like this, I know. Anyway, that's how I started putting birds and animals and that kind of thing into my paintings. I wonder if I'm looking at this, I think maybe I'll pooch his belly out more. I'll have to get that later. Let's get that purple. White and purple. Just indicate some feather work in there. The more we do here, the easier it makes our job later on. I don't know, you know, hummers kind of add a certain feeling to the overall painting, rather than just straight flowers. Of course, my abstract background. Look at the color. Look at the color in here. Look at that. How could you not like that? I had an email from some guy. He said, Gary, I noticed you're doing a lot of abstract stuff. Why don't you just go back and do your normal backgrounds like you used to do? Because you're not going to make any money. That's right, he said that. You're not going to make any money doing your abstract stuff. Go back to doing the normal stuff and you'll make more money. Wrong. Oh boy. There's a guy putting money ahead of passion, money ahead of this beautiful work we're doing, the creativity. If you put money ahead of what you're doing, you're going to lose. You ain't going to make it, my friend. You must have the passion. You must love doing all of this stuff in here. All of this. Getting a feeling of the purples and how it works with the reds and the whites and all of that. It's all of that stuff that turns people onto your paintings. The first thing people see in a gallery when your work is on the wall, because, you know, you're competing with other artists in a gallery. The first thing people see is color. They'll see all this color. Then they'll come in and go, oh, look at the Hummer. And we'll be tying a lot of this color into the hummingbird. Because this red is on his, right in here, right on his throat. So we'll get that with oil. So this was acrylic lay-in. This is all acrylic background. And the rest of it, the flowers, the poppies, are going to go in way over here on the left. And they're going to be, see if I find, I have a silk arrangement I work from. Look at that. Look at that. And look at that. The old Hummer is coming right up to the flower. Some of this color will be found in the hummingbird. And we're going to have this, reds and yellows, and they're going to be quite large. Yeah. It's more of a graphic, because some of these flowers are going to run right off the top of the painting, and some on the bottom might run off. I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet. Usually I make a painting up in advance, but this one I'm making up as we go along. So if I screw up, I'll do it right in front of you guys. Okay, let's let this bird dry up a little. Then I'm going to lay my oil colors out. And, I'm working, as I mentioned in the beginning, this is a hardboard. Hear it? It's masonite on a wooden frame. And I'm going to get into that, what that surface is like at the end of the video, because when you don't have the weave of the canvas fighting you, you can get a lot of beautiful detail in the bird. Not so important with the flowers, but with this bird, very important to have. It helps to have a smooth surface. Okay, let me get rid of this acrylic on my palette, and let's start with our. Now that the acrylic has all dried, I'm going to take some odorless thinner. On my little brush, I'm still using this. It's a number 1. And he has way up here. And it's more of a tap-tap thing. Yeah. This red goes on beautifully. Of course, it's on top of this this panel I was telling you guys all about. We take a little dark, a little black really. Yeah, because it goes in the shadow around there. Boy, with that camera in there, it shows up everything. I'm going to take more of that dark back. We're constantly blending one color into another. This is very dry, and it's just a tap tap. Ooh, let's back up a little bit. Sometimes you can get in there too close, you see too much. That's a little better. Cool. Now we're going to take some yellow and some blue. The blue I'm using is what? What is my blue? Ultramarine blue and yellow. Sort of makes a phthalo yellow green. And then it goes in tap tap. A little bit up here. Yeah, much better. I'm going to take some, my little purple. Actually, their wings go so fast. In real life, you cannot see any detail because they're just fluttering, or whatever they call that. It's too fast. But in painting, we have to slow it down, show detail, otherwise it looks just like a big blur. But we don't have to show much detail. Actually, it's better if you don't. We're always going back into it, adding more stuff. A little more of that phthalo green down in here. Now I'm going to do something. This is called echoing color. We're going to take this color, this cad red light, and we're going to put it right in here. This is the fun part. Or maybe let's try some cadmium orangey yellow. Put it on pretty bright, wipe the brush, and then just pat it in. Yeah. A lot of it is just an illusion. I want a little more of that orangey red down here. Very dry so it sticks. There it is. There it is. Now we're cooking. Can't wait to get to those poppies. Even when we're doing this, we're going to have to let it set up a little. Boy, that looks a little dot. See, it's too sharp, so we're going to have to work that in. Too dotty. A little more of that phthalo yellow green. Maybe a little touch more yellow. They're really colorful little guys. Now I'm going to do something here. I'm going to take my towel, tear a piece off, but that was loud. And I'm going to, and you can't see this, but my hand I know is in the way. I'm going to fuzz that out just a bit. So that it throws out of focus a little bit. And then I'll come back in and bring a little detail back into it. That one in the back, I'm going to come in my hand. I know he's in the way. Sorry, I'm going to come down into it and soften that up. I want to do the same here, outside, in. I don't want a lot of sharp detail in the wing. See, a little more, I'm going to take a little more white. White. Put some of that up here. I'm going to use a larger brush. This is Terp White. Oh boy. I'll work that out with my finger. And what I'm going to do is take Terp on my brush. This is a little spooky. I'm going to put some of that. I want some. There it goes. I want it to run down and sort of hide the wings a little, so they look like they're in motion. They almost disappear, but not quite. If they go too bye-bye, we can always bring them back out in a little bit more. Yeah, just enough, not a lot. That's kind of cool. Yeah, just enough to kind of fuzz it out a little bit, so that, because their wings are going so fast you can't even see detail. And this kind of gives the illusion of movement. Really neato. I know it's spooky to do that, but give it a shot. I really like that guy. Terrible to like your own stuff, I know. Sounds a little bit egotistical. Hey, if you don't like it, How do you expect other people to feel? My little orbs, I love my little orbs. Yeah. Not too much. Well, I think in a minute we're going to get up there and mess with the poppies. And what we'll do is let that guy set up. He looks pretty good like that, but you never know. When we get the poppies in, we might want to go back in and change him a little bit, but I don't think we might not have to do too much to him. He looks pretty good. Remember, we're in there real close. If we come back, you can see how he takes his place in the painting. A little bit of red, how it's picked up the reddish orange into the bird. Very, very important stuff. A little bit of light back in here, that's kind of cool. Okie dokie. Well, now let's see what we can do with those. Kind of an orangey red and yellow, and these poppies are going to be quite large. It's going to be kind of like a graphic. It'll be a little different. And hey, what we want to be is different. We don't want to do stuff that everybody else is doing. I know these are difficult. I know. But I think we reach a fork in the road where do we want to be like everybody else is painting in that gray area where they're all doing that landscape stuff that everybody can do because it's easy? Or do you want to be among the 10%? 10% of the folks. And I know you're out there, and I know you're my fans, and it's building. I keep tracking it every single day on YouTube, and it's growing like crazy on there. So I'm really getting a very sound, very large base of people that are in that 10% that love doing this. I think this is just so cool just by itself. Doesn't really need anything. Well, it's dark over here. It's dark over here to show my poppies off. But it's really, if you were just to have this much right here, which I've done in galleries and sold, that's all that's needed. You don't even need a flower in there. It's just the color. And the people's imagination works. They look at that Hummer flying into all this color, and they make up their own story. They see stuff that's not even there, but they see it in their mind. They see this as being some red flowers and purple flowers. Or you could go in and bring in some purple. I could see some small purple flowers, little teeny red ones. It goes on and on and on. We're creating, guys. Creating. We're painting something that not everybody can do. I know. But you're out there watching, you're the 10%, you're my audience. The other 90%, they're not my audience. They go for more of that other stuff, the easy stuff, the no-brainer stuff. I call them zombies. They're just, well, I shouldn't go on and on. Because I think it has its place in our society of, folks that do that kind of stuff, and they seem to enjoy it. Well, that's good for them. That's great. It's not good for me, and it's not good for you either. So if you're going to follow along with me, you're going to see that in other stuff I'm doing. Oh, don't forget the subscribe button on the bottom. It's very important. If you're going to follow along with me, you're going to be in that 10% that enjoys doing this stuff. And you're the folks I want to paint for. You're the folks I want to say, here's my hand, grab a hold of it, and let's take a journey. Let's explore. This is what's fun about this technique. You're exploring, and every painting you do, you learn something, and every painting you do, it's different. And every painting you do has this feeling of this love, this feeling of love. You have to love this stuff. You have to love this stuff. Because if you put the love in, the love comes back out. And people pick up on that. They don't even know it, but they're attracted to it because it draws them into the painting. It makes them want to buy it. It makes them want to take it home. They want to experience looking at this for the rest of their lives on their wall. This is what we're doing. And if you can't see that, then follow somebody else. Okay, enough preaching. Let's get on with the good old poppies. I was going to put some large poppies in here, but I've decided to put in just a grouping of some smaller pieces. This is cad red light and yellow ochre. I'm going to put one right in here, and in it goes. Not too big. I have some linseed on the canvas, which is helping the paint to spread around. This is just, all we care about here is the outside edge. I'm going to take some cad red light, put it in here. Whoa! Now let's pull that out. And then we'll take a little crimson, just to get a little deeper color in there. Yeah, that's good. And I think we'll go on up. I work from silk flowers, so I'm over here pulling them around. And we'll have another one. Alizarin crimson, very dark color. In it goes. And I'm using about a brush that's a little over 1/4 of an inch. Don't stack your flowers. You notice I have this one off to the side a little. All right. Let's get that one in the back in first. That's cad red light. And we'll start in. Whoa, look at that guy. Finger to blend. Finger works better than a blending brush. I think I might go to a larger brush. Yeah, that's better. And we got this little red guy just kind of sitting back there. Whoa, boy. Let there be light. A lot of this is just indicating and we'll wipe our brush and let's take our yellow, cad yellow light. Sometimes I use the side of the brush. Very light touch. Drawing is very important. The light just dances from petal to petal. So you're not stroking a whole petal in. You notice how I'm bouncing around, working the whole flower up at one time. We want light. Well, we got lucky when that guy flopped in. We got a little dark center right there. And I got my little trusty liner brush. Just get a feeling of some of those coming out. And I'm going to take black and crimson, get a little darker. I love the contrast. Cad red light on my finger. Look at that, look at that. Let there be color. Cad red light again. You gotta love this stuff. Dark back here, black. And our blue, ultramarine blue and yellow. Maybe we'll have one of these leaves coming out. Yeah. It looks like we need a little center in this guy. And we'll use our liner brush to bring some of that out. Don't want it to be too sharp. Nope, it's not dark enough. Okay. I'm sitting back looking at it, see what else it needs in there. It needs a lot. A lot of stuff. Maybe some leaves coming down. And they kind of disappear into the dark. Maybe we'll take our black and white. Oh, looks like I have a little red with it. More black. More black. Remember, I haven't painted this one before, so I'm just making it up as I go along. And a little light. This guy can be a little looser because he's way in the back. Cool. It's kind of neat just like that. Overlap that red one. I'm going to just leave them loosey-goosey. That looks great. Maybe another stem coming up here. Da, da, da. A little more of that dark going here. And maybe we'll have a little bud coming in up there. Get some crimson, give us our dark side. And let's really take some yellow and cad red light. Let's pop that guy. Boom, that's what I want. Yeah. Make a statement. If you're going to say something, say it so people can see it. So this is just a little simple painting. Not too difficult. Get some of this going inside. Neato. You know me and my drippies. I love my drippies. I'm just very quiet because I'm looking at the painting. Because I just know when I think it's done, I'm going to look at it later and go, oh no, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. Just getting that a little darker back there. Maybe some twigs. Little somethings, little teeny little buds coming out. All right. Well, there you have it. Our a little hummer with our little puppies. And my next painting that I'll do for you will be roses on a abstract background, of course. But this one is really going to be very abstracty, really pushing the abstract quality to show you how to get all that runny stuff and orbs and everything. There's a lot of stuff in the next painting that will be coming up. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Now what I'm going to do is go right into this area right here, and I'm taking some turquoise blue, and I'm going to put some wildflowers. I got a couple started because I just wanted to see how it's going to work, and I like this cool note. So in it goes. We're going to just try to get some in here that are very loose, some are dark, and we want just kind of a very loose feeling of them coming down. Some of them will get lost into the background. I put a little orange with the blue to darken some of them up. And now it's getting looser and freer as it comes out, because down in here I just wanted sort of just a feeling that there's some down there. Don't want to get a lot of detail going just yet. Straight out of the tube, blue. Now you notice how it just kind of peters out down here. Take your finger and kind of lose some of it. Get some of this blue with a touch of cad red light, which gives me an extra dark. Right in here. Some of the darker ones in there. So what this is just an illusion, and the key word is illusion, of little flowers. And really it's in there mainly for the color. I love a nice cool turquoise. And that light dances. Comes over this way, some of the light hitting. Again, we're just giving an illusion of wildflowers. Because the eye will look at this one and say, oh, well, all these must be the same. That's how the brain works. Maybe some buds coming down. As it comes over towards the poppies, you'll get just a feeling of some of that. See, just kind of tap some of that blue going in. Maybe some coming up this way, up near our little birdie. Get a little highlight on that little guy. Ooh, a little. Yeah. So you can do a lot with just indicating. Now I want a feeling of light hitting right in here, so I'm going to take a little more white. Some of them are just kind of peeking out from behind. White with the cerulean. I'm going to take my little liner brush, pick up some of this cad red light and blue, get a little dark. And see how I can find just a center in some of them, not all of them. And then maybe we'll have some yellow and our turquoise. indicate some stems coming down. Maybe some of them, let's take a little black with the blue. I get quiet when I'm doing this stuff. Boy, it sure needed that blue color in there. Little centers here and there. That looks really cool. And I want it to lose itself more down here. Using the finger to fade some of them out. Maybe a little cad red light. Find a little center here and there. I wonder if some of those blue flowers, straight out of the tube, turquoise. Maybe a few coming out that way. Maybe a little white. Where the light will hit the top. Again, it's just an illusion, guys. Don't tighten up. Now I'm looking at it. You got to look at the whole thing, not just where you're working, and see how that works with everything else. I want to take some of that blue, that turquoise and white. Yeah. Wipe the brush. I'm going to work that in more. Yeah, so I just repeated some of that blue into the old Hummer up here. Nice, nice, nice. I wonder if I can get more white on that Hummer. Let's see, do I have any white on my palette? No, it's all used up. It must be why they make white in big tubes, because we use most of it. Maybe come up here. Yeah, see, it's had a chance to dry up a little so that the white now sticks to the top. And our cad red light. Let's see if we get a little brighter right in there. Yeah. Dot, dot. Cool. Okay. How we do? I think, should we get in there a little closer and see what's happening? You see the blue, how I repeated that blue up into the bird. Very important. It's called echoing. We bounce that color around. Bird is looking pretty good. I like the way his wings are just kind of indicated. Because like I mentioned before, when you really see a real Hummer, you don't really see their wings at all. Well, I think that kind of finishes that up. I think we did pretty good. I hope yours turns out well. We got our blue in there. That looks good. And then I'm going to get a paper towel. And I'm going to, I know what. I'm looking at it while I'm talking. I need to repeat. Just a hint of that yellow. Just a hint over there. There's always something that we need to do. Our bud on top's okay. Maybe we need to darken that up a little bit. A little light right in there. Yeah, okay. How we doing? Looks like we might be almost finished. Oh, an orb. Hey, look. Remember, what you do last is what people see first. Oh, I like that. Orbs add a kind of a spiritual feeling to your painting. I like that spirit. Everything there's a spirit hanging around out there, especially here in Sedona. And you really feel the spirit when you're here. Well, okay. I was going to mention I'm going to be doing another painting for you next time of roses against a real abstract background. This is really going to push the abstract quality, which is why a lot of you guys out there are watching the show. So I thought, well, I'm getting a lot of folks coming on board. Again, you're the 10% that loves this stuff. And these videos are for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom. Thank you, because it really helps. Okay, I think that's it for now. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Well, it ain't over till it's over. I wanted to come back in here and pick out a few more darks right in here. Ultramarine blue and cerulean. I needed to have a few more darks to bring some of these out. Yeah. And let's take a little more cerulean and white. See if we can lighten that up a little. Well, you never know. Because you walk away and come back with a fresh eye, and you go, whoa, it needs a little more. So that's what I'm doing here. In a minute, I'm going to put a screen up to show you where you can order your, if you like these, what do you call them, hardboard, to get more detail in your flowers, especially in your birds, because you don't have all of that texture to fight of the canvas. I'm going to put that up in a minute so you can see where to order if you want. I don't make anything on it. Again, it's just a good product that you guys might want to try. Well, I guess you can probably piddle with this thing all day long. It's hard to let them go. They become your babies. And I want it to be perfect. And I don't know, nothing's ever perfect. And besides, perfect can be boring. See those little shots of yellow? Repeating the yellow from the flower. And it's just color, not meant to be anything really. Little dots of color. Look at that dot, dot, dot. I like that stuff. Adds a little movement to it. White. I'm going to come up here where it's really light. See if we can't get a feeling of light hitting up here. Probably would be better to let it set up and then hit it, but I don't have that luxury of that time. Okay. So let's back up. See how it looks in there. Yeah, I think it's fitting in there okay. I'm going to fuzz this out a little bit more. Just kind of lose it into the background. Very important. Soften that bottom up. So it just floats into nothing. So it's the subtleties that make the painting. It's all this subtle stuff that nobody seems to want to take time. And it's what makes the painting. So if you're going to be a painter, don't think about the money. Too much emphasis is on that. Not that it's not important, of course, but it will get in the way of being creative if that's your main focus. All right, I'm just pushing this I really want that to fade away. It also softens up these edges and lets the eye down very gradually into the background. So it just swoops into the back, much like maybe a watercolor would do. Ah, I like that. Now we're getting someplace. So sometimes it just takes time to play and mess around. Okay, well, we're going to have to let this guy go. And let me get the other page up for you where you can see all the other, where to buy all this stuff. Okay, take care. Don't forget the buttons on the bottom. Push because it really helps. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. I wanted to take a moment here to show you, I made a change on this guy right here. I took some yellow and white, and I brought these petals out a little more. They were just not quite long enough. So I just wanted to show you that change. A little shots up here. I darkened it up a little bit down on the bottom. So not that much, but I just wanted to point this out to you that I did bring these petals out because that's characteristic of the poppy. It has longer petals. That's it. I just wanted to show you that little change that I made up there.